where the person should have been bodek the reasons for it, what he's doing. And then, if he can catch himself that, to use the same chachma opposite. He has the same way, he can tie and untie, he can do this maisa, and the guy can lose and get and have not to get the maisa, or he can go away in the same way to figure out how the guy can now get the maisa. In other words, he has a way of, it's in their hands to yes and to not. Oh, the Rebbe had to help him. Davar Sheni, so that person has to check himself this way. And Davar Sheni, the person, what was the svara of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi? He gave 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They must have been better guys. On that I can hear two svaras. One is the famous story of, I think it's Rav Chaim Halevi, I'm not sure what it was, but there was a woman came to him, or some rabbi, woman came to him and asked him for money for she needed to get a shidduch, she had to get clothing, he gave her money, and then she came and now she has to just to make tanoim, and now they need money for a wedding. So the Rebbetzin said, listen, there's so many good poor people to give you money. What are you giving to this woman for? She already got the shidduch, things happen, what do you got to do? Give the money elsewhere. He says, how come all of a sudden you think of it now to give to the other people, the poor people? Maybe that's what he had all of a sudden now. The second thing is mitzad adin, if a person's somech on your tzedakahs, you're not allowed to cut him off. We brought down a Medrash Tanchuma that if you cut it off, it's worse. You lose all your money. So once the kid was somech on it, so it's chaval to remove it. That's why people give to the same meshulach going around. I don't know why, but all the time. They don't want to cut it off. So that I can understand. And I can understand the Talmidim. Why you say they're not Muslim? Because after they learned this Maisa from Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, so then they became Sholim, they understood what to do and not to. But normally, there's a natural feeling, even Talmidim, to their other Chaver who they love, that because of their personalized interest or tzedek, I don't want to say the word interest, I would say the word tzedek, that they're ready to do ma'asim. The question is, do we fit into that category or not? Ourselves. Now I would ask everybody to give me an example how he fits in the category. What's the right? If you're a Muslim, you don't fall in that category. If you're not a Muslim, which most people are, we all fall into the category. So I would ask you, how do you fall into that category? In deeds of your life. I had a different story to tell. I had the book on the table. Anybody saw the book here? I had it here yesterday on Risol Salanta. It was on the table in the other room there. I put it there and it disappeared. I wanted to read that story today. It's an important story. The same kasha. The story is Risol Salanta was on a train, and quickly, he was on a train, and he was smoking, and came along a young guy in the same coat. He said, listen, shut the cigarette, bothers me, shut the window, it's cold. Then he came to the city, and he saw his Chavetz Chaim, he asked him, besides, I'm Meichel, and then he said, what's your business? And came for be a sheikh, he failed the exam, he sat and got him, long story. My situation, my kasha was a simple one. Who are we? Are we the guy the young guy sitting on the Koran? Because he had a good reason. I can't stand smoke, and I'm cold. I'll pay halacha. You have to watch it. But the shaila was, he said, had I known it was the Chafetz Chaim, what would I have done? And if he wasn't the Chafetz Chaim, what do you do? How do we treat people, not giving them, I don't say the right, or any cover of them? How do we treat people and push our ideas and our thoughts and our interests when it comes to other people to do? How do we do? In this case is, there's a little harsh case, make sure you lose the money. But shutting the window and making the guy, old man, not smoke, okay, so health reasons, cancer is the best thing. We have all justifications. But who was the Chafetz Chaim? He wouldn't do it. Why? Why wouldn't he do it in Chafetz Chaim? Why not? Same law. Cigarettes are cancerous. Air catching a cold. What's the difference? Why not give me either? And then the other way around. Assuming somebody did those things to us, are we like the Chafetz Chaim or the Shel Salanta, that Meichel? And what does Meichel mean? Meichel means, what does it mean? I got this still hatred in my heart. Do I go out of my way to help with it, lend me the money? Do we act like a Chafetz Chaim or a Shel Salanta? Will we do that? Bad enough you hurt me, I meichel you, I got to help you and waste my time. And the Chafetz Chaim's time is valuable. Because when the Chafetz Chaim got the covet as the Chafetz Chaim as an old man knows he's going to Olam Haba, and every minute counts. He has to help Klal Yisrael, he has to learn. He doesn't have the taivas of regular people. He's working on his Olam Haba. His time is valuable for the Klal. Usually a young guy thinks his time is valuable. As soon as you get older, your time becomes more valuable. You know your time is running out. His time was running out. Look what the Chafetz Chaim did with his time. Imagine sitting with a guy with bad midos and teaching him after the guy failed and he thought he knew in a balgaivenik. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The chutzpan and a balgai to learn with the guy. And just think of the chutzpah, the guy went for an examination, didn't know how to work. And he fools himself in his learning. He thinks he knows. He thinks he can fake the world out. He started to learn with a guy like that. Well, good. Learning went good. After he learned what he do, got him a job. Did the guy change his midos? Did he say the Chafetz Chaim sat with him and worked on his midos? He taught him the material. Maybe he did change his midos. According to the book, the story, the guy said, listen, I don't deserve it. He said, no, don't worry about it. You're an onav now. Maybe he did change. Where are we? In either side of the fence, where are we? But before you leave, just there, not talking to you personally, think of, on the side of the fence, what you do. Good intentions, meaning well. A man has to be so careful what he does. Before a man speaks or acts, he has to be very careful how it affects what it does to his wife, to his kids, to his chaverim, to his rebbe, and learning. That's why Chachomim talk b'loshen ktsara. Kol amar b'sicha, Misha. What do you talk to? Why even the wife you talk too much? Seifene, why is it falling? Because you talk too much. You're falling into holes. I don't say no. You got to talk. I mean, you don't talk, you'll have a worse problem. But I mean to say, you got to watch what you say and how you say, and what you do and how you do. Anyway, I really bought the book to talk to the Israelis. Because an Israeli mentality is this story here. For their interest, they do a lot of strange things. If you can harness their interest, your interest and their interest together to get money or do anything, you'll win out a lot. But you have to know. But again, the Israelis have a real hard problem. The Americans are not as much in this problem. Because they catch them. The Israelis, it's very hard to, even after you catch them, to prove to them their negiyas. It's so hard, you have no idea. And what they do when they have a negiya, ain't l'shar. And I assume Eretz Yisrael has that quality because Eretz Yisrael brings chutzpanim, it says, more beitza. First, the guy doesn't learn Torah, has chutzpah. But Eretz Yisrael itself has that quality. Somehow, I don't know. We have to become Talmidim Shleimim. It's hard, it's work. A woman is always this way. Her interest, her way, she'll twist and turn the world and prove that black is white and for her ways. That's the nature. But Talmidei Chachamim can't be that way. Okay, anyway. I want to know, how does an Anav relate to his fellow human beings? Or how does a proper person, according to the Ramban, what does he do, or how does he act when he relates to somebody? So the Ramban says, B'chol dvarecha yu b'nachas, everything you speak, you talk b'nachas. Al yikro ish al taneu b'koram, rak b'nachas. And there's a bigger picture, koimei lifnei rabo. When you're there also, you have complaints because you're in front of Hashem. So it's not just a relation between person and person, it's a relation between person, person and Hashem in the picture, where the camera is going. So you have b'nachas. It says tishbaye shuvil busha. So in other words, you have busha, nachas, complacency, busha. And what else? But how do you, okay, a little busha because you're embarrassed from people. I gotta say that. Human being, in front of Hashem, human beings. And Rabbi, you're supposed to have those things. In other words, when Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai said that he was going to die, he was ready to die, and they asked him, tell us a word. And he says, listen, you should have fear of God like you have fear of people. So well, that's it, halavai. But here it comes out in a positive sense that the fear of people is a positive thing. So you have to be mishvaish in front of people. Adarabba. You just out of heck with the people. Main thing is God. Adarabba, you're supposed to have the busha. But the question, how do you interrelation between every person? And then the answers. V'chol adam, first between you and Hashem, and nothing's yours. But what's your relation to every person? How you look at another human being? Okay, that's between you and God. You can reach that madrega. That you'll always see. There's always greater people. It comes from God. Somehow to Hashem you can avatal yourself and misvada. But when you get to human beings, how do you relate to them? V'chol adam yiyeh godol mimcha beinecha. Every human being, maybe women included. Adam, because Adam is usually included even non-Jews. Okay, but not too clear. So how can that be? How can I feel he's better than me? I'm better than him. Im chacham o osherhu, which is a reality. Osher is a money. You say chacham is I'm smarter than him. But osher, you count the money in the bank. So if he's a osher, olech lachabdo, you have to give him colors. Mitam Oshir and Chacham. Im Rashu, Vata Oshir Chacham. He's a poor guy and you're rich and smart from him. So how are you going to handle this? So he says, Chashoy belibcha, ki ato chayev mimenu v'uzaka mincha. Shim hu chotei, hu shogev ato mezeh. Have a trick. Always think in your heart that he's much pure. Because when you do a sin, say he's rich, you're rich in him, but when you do a sin, you're amazed. He's a shogeg. So therefore, when you look at him, even in another bechina, although in one bechina he is, but another bechina he's better than you. So now comes the question: why should that make a man happy? It should make him more depressed, more down. Everybody I look at has more than me, so I got nothing. I got nothing, so that's zero. So I answered, and I said that. That's how you look at him. What about other people look at you? A religious person look at you. So it must be if he's religious, read the Igeres Ramban. And he also will look at you bigger than him. So you got self-worth? Or if there's nobody around and you're in a desert island, you still have to say, how does Hashem look at me? If this is the way you have to look at life and look at every human being, so that must be that Hashem, when he looks at us, he also sees in us certain qualities. Hi, we're Zevel, we're nobody. What are we anyway? The answer is, God, when he created any human being, it says in the end of the Masechta, it says in the Masechta Sanhedrin, like B'shvili Nivro, every person is special, miyuchad. Everybody has that special quality that he has. You have to find your special quality. And everybody has to feel that Hashem loves him specially, he's miyuchad. Hi, all the other things, okay, but that's what Hashem made everybody miyuchad. What does that give the person? It gives a balance where he's an onav, still he has self-worth, and he's miyuchad. Now, when it says kol adam means anybody, even if you don't know all the qualities, you still have to give him cover. So you don't know, maybe he has certain qualities you don't know about. Now this little formula, if we think about it, is a wonderful formula. The only problem is, what's the problem here? The problem is, you're playing the game and everybody else is not playing the game. I give cover to everybody. I give cover to all these terrible ignoramuses. I give them covered. And when it comes to me, who's a chacham, a smart guy, they don't give me my covered for what I am a yuchad for. So then you get into trouble. The answer is, you can't demand that. Because you're supposed to feel, compared to Hashem, what do you have? Osher is not yours, and Chacham is not. So what do you got anyway? So you cannot demand it. So where do you get your self-worth then? You get depressed. The answer is, this is how Hashem looks at you. Or, if the guy is a religious Jew, then he'll look at you that way too. So if other people look at you, that gives you more self-worth. And if you can't get other people, at least you know Hashem looks at you. Because he created you by definition, means you have something special, a certain tafkid to do in the world. Yeah.
To look at people irrespective whether you know them or not. I mean, so you have to get to know the guy to know his special quality in order to give him cover for the special quality, or you have to assume Hashem made him.
You have to assume Hashem made him, but how much more so if you could quickly see it. And but you have to give that proper respect to people. And that is really the lavush called Tzelem Elokim. He's created him in God. God created him in the world, means everybody by definition is special. So that's something that I don't have. God keeps him alive. That's be a good reason. Unless the Torah says he's a Russia. We don't have a Navi to tell us. We don't have anybody. This is the way you have to act in regular life, or what it is. Say, there's a well-known Russia, Hitler. How do you act to him? So the answer is we're not talking about those type of people. We're talking about every individual a normal individual, who normally has the chazakah, like the Chofetz Chaim says. Everyone has a chazakah that he's okay. Even 50-50, you got to give the guy the kaskos. If he's own Russia, so then so it's a different story. I don't know, Russia will have to look bad on the time. But a normal person, an average person, everybody, you have to look in that positive way. If you do it, so it should bring anivas, remove gaiva, and keep you in the right place. Imagine a society doing that. It would work together, it would be positive. Utopia. If you ask me what would be a good formula for utopia, I would say, everybody thinks the other guy is better than him. Yeah.
Why does it have to be better? Why should it be equal? I mean,
After Reacho Kamocha. After Reacho Kamocha. Because there's a need. So the question somebody asked me, maybe you're good but he's better. Good. You're good but he's better. That also burns you up. Because you think you're always better, you deserve more. You're good, but he's better. He deserves it. You don't deserve it. You can say you're good and he's better. Something to think about. Something to work on your kids over the weekend. How each one should give each other the credibility of being somebody and something more than you. Because all the kids have a complaint. I'm the best. Why you give him? He's older. Come on. Or is this favorite? So the answer with me is no. Everybody is special and better. I don't know if anybody will hear it, but this is a religious view. Okay, I wanted to say it anyway. Any other questions? Why should that not change your life? Why should that not change your life? Explain to me. I want to understand it. Shouldn't this change your life? This little information. Like husband and wife can act that way. Each one sees better qualities they have than you have. But the other person shouldn't take it now. You heard, oh, my better quality is better than you, so therefore I dominate you. No. Each one has his special qualities. I was always wondering when you have, they have machlokes, where they say Talmud Torah keneged kulam, tzitzis keneged mila keneged kulam. So, each one on its own has an even. The other one is bigger than me. Okay, I'm bigger. Each one says the other one is biggest. Okay, that's something to think about. Okay. To say over what the world says. What is creative thinking? This is by Roger von Oech, a whack on the side of the head. What is called creative thinking? His whole tachlis is creative thinking. I once asked advertising legend Carl Alley, whoever it is, what makes the creative person tick? Al responded, the creative person wants to know it all. He wants to know about all kinds of things, ancient history, 19th century mathematics, current manufacturing, flowering, because he never knows when these ideas might come together to form a new idea. It may happen 6 minutes later, He has faith that it will happen. I agree wholeheartedly, knowledge is the stuff from which new ideas are made. Nevertheless, knowledge alone won't make a person creative. I think that we're all known people who knew lots of facts and nothing creative happened. Their knowledge just sat in their crania because they didn't think about what they knew in any new ways. The real key to being creative lies in what you do with your knowledge. He doesn't think clearly, this guy. But I discussed it, and it comes out like this. The first thing is you have to have the love of knowledge. All knowledge. And you want to know. Secondly, you want to use that knowledge. You want to use it. Doesn't lie there, you want to use it. The third thing is the manner in which you use it. Like a toloda, or you apply, or another way. But it's the usage of the knowledge, and the manner of usage of the knowledge. So I said, simply, the first step would be is there's a man who's a chamer nosei sfarim. He learns all the ketoses, right? And he knows them. Another guy, or a guy that learns all shots, but he cannot utilize the information. Then you have somebody who can utilize it, thinks about it, applies it. Also, we find in Yigeres Ramban the same thing. When you learn a piece, you have to say, how will I apply it? What will I use it for? Or we said, according to Rabbeinu Yonah, when you learn, you have in mind already, how are you going to function? What are you going to do? How are you going to teach? It's already down. You're trying to change it from one media to another. But then we say, what do you have to go so far for? You have a Gemara, you have a Mishnah, you have a Gemara. It's right in a Gemara. You can look at the Tosos if you're going further away. Tosos takes a text and he makes a diak from it, and then he tries to say, how does this fit in with something else? It doesn't fit in. So he has a kasha, so he has to give a teretz. He has to be creative and produce a new answer which doesn't exist in the Gemara. Creative, produces for doesn't exist. He's forced to do it. Okay, so only he can do it. Okay, good. So we say, we can't handle Tosfos. But we can take a difference in a Marshon or Maram, and in between, or short as a Machlei, we have to give a Svar and make a new Yesod. And that'd be like Rav Chaim HaLevi, he's solving the big Rambam. But we can be creative, and everybody has an ability. You're saying Chalkeina Basar, everybody has it. You don't have to go far over that way. You get the Gemara itself. You have a Mishnah, and you have Tanoim, or Morim, argue what Tanoim say, and they produce a new because they have a difficulty. They have to see it in a new way, or they may have a kasha. What's an answer? Seeing it in a new way, applying the rule another way, or see a fact that wasn't there. You have the greatest creativity. Huh? Well, in the Rabbeinu Yonah, Halomi Kol Adam, he has to have the lust and desire to learn and know. So they're saying even the lust and desire to know may just information remain. But again, we're saying automatically the man that knows and has a lust for knowledge, part of the knowledge is lumalamed, to apply it, to understand it, to work on it. Okay.
No, I'm saying he told him a chacham. Can a guy be a chacham and not do those things?
Yes.
Oh, he can.
Yeah, but we understand, you see, but the method that we have in the yeshiva world, which is chavrusa, chabura, chidushei Torah, in our system that we have, it cannot be otherwise. At the end, what are you supposed to do? Be a Rosh Yeshiva, say Asfara, you have to say over to your kids, you have to write something. It's impossible. I have a shayla what to do. That's not written, what do you do? Of course not. It's written for those dopes out there who need a whack on their head. No, but my point is now another point. My point is in the Musa word. How we have to look at ourselves. as creative, growing people. Not that we are stagnant. It wasn't where you're creative. You can be creative and you produce a chiddush and you make money, or you're creative and in the Gemara, the real place, in the Svaras HaTorah. I brought down Rabbi Yonah. I brought down the Chayvus Havavas. Rav Isaac Shiur brings the Chayvus Havavas that anyone in business, in order to make money, always feel it has to produce a chiddush. He thinks, I'm the only guy that can figure out this. I'll open a store here or do this here. And I'll hustle people. Nobody else did it before. I'll open it now. You need a chiddush in order to make money and do anything. It's impossible. Then you have Rabbi Yeshiva. Rabbi Yeshiva, to catch fish. You know the story with the fish. There's the guy who says, oh, how can I learn Torah? He's a fisherman. He says, how do you do fishing? Well, I got a lot of chokhmah. I go out here. What do you? Yeah, wow, that's difficult. Nah, if you can do that, it's just Torah that Hashem, the Hashem is the Torah is in your mouth. Kal v'chom, you can learn Torah. Okay. I don't know what the kal v'chom is, but anyway, it means it's a technique. It means that it can be learned. If your child is not creative, you can train your child to be creative. Because we have all the system to be creative. But we have a real hard part, flip, to be creative and not to throw away the Torah. It's within the framework of the Torah. Anyway, so we have to look at ourselves as creative individuals. We have to feel that